We finally got to the last arc in the series, the worst arc in the series. It marks the end of the original run of Dragon Ball, a ride that lasted over 10 years, and even though I said this is the worst arc, I still found it very cathartic to experience the series come to a close. This arc begins 7 years after Cell's defeat. With the defeat of Cell and the death of Goku, the story shifted its main protagonist to Gohan, a decision I believe most fans were fond of. So when the arc opens up with Gohan, I'm sure most of us fans were excited. Like I said in my previous video, the end of the Cell arc feels like a passing of the torch from father to son, and that feeling remains in the beginning of the Buu arc. We see Gohan on Earth, riding around on Nimbus with a smile on his face, a very similar sight to what we saw with Goku in his teenage years. He's on his way to high school in Satan City, and oh yeah, Mr. Satan took the credit for beating Cell, as there were no cameras or microphones that actually captured Cell's defeat. He not only is the world's martial arts champion, but he is now viewed as the world's savior. On his way to school, Gohan stops some local thugs during a robbery but uses his Super Saiyan form to protect his identity, which is smart, especially because there was someone there who went to the same school as him. Someone who Gohan will become very close to in the near future, and if they learned his identity, it could threaten the under-the-radar lifestyle Gohan is trying to uphold in school. The citizens of Satan City refer to Gohan as the Golden Warrior, and as long as Gohan maintains his base form in public, keeping his true identity and the Golden Warrior separate should be no problem. Because of the robbery, Gohan makes it to school late and has to introduce himself to the whole class. He sits next to a couple people, one of those being the girl from the crime scene. Her name is Videl, and she's the daughter of Hercule. She begins to have her suspicions on Gohan's true identity because he kinda acts off, but she shrugs it off because he appears to be weak. All of the scenes of Gohan in high school were refreshing for me because it's the only time we've ever seen anything like that in Dragon Ball Z. Even though there are so many differences between Goku and Gohan in their teenage years, I love how Toriyama displays that Gohan is still so different from those around him, just like Goku was in his youth. His classmates acknowledge this, and we even see it when he plays baseball in what I assume to be gym class. He effortlessly jumps 30 feet in the air to catch a fly ball and lets a fastball hit him directly in the face. Very reminiscent of how Goku would perform superhuman feats without trying when he was younger. Even though Gohan was raised on Earth and is half human, he's still so different from everyone else because he's from the country, but also because he's an alien who's been able to destroy planets for most of his life. But living this double life will only work for so long. Gohan acknowledges that his excuses as to why he's not the Golden Warrior won't work for too much longer. Therefore, he asks Bulma for a disguise, and I don't like it, but is definitely capable of keeping his identity a secret. While at Capsule Corp, Gohan sees Vegeta and of course they talk. Vegeta's not the friendliest person, but does give Gohan some advice, which actually foreshadowed a major event in this arc. Never get soft in a time of peace. Gohan leaves Capsule Corp, and from there, the Great Saiyaman, the Defender of Justice, was born. Never really liked the voice Gohan used for the character, but that's just the wackiness of Dragon Ball for you. As Gohan continues to live his normal daily life, he allows Videl to trick him into revealing that he and the Great Saiyaman are one and the same. Gohan is so much smarter than Goku at any age, but it's funny to see that even he can be fooled just as easily as his super strong father, which is another thing Videl pieces together. But Videl will keep Gohan's secrets as long as he does two things: enter the upcoming World Martial Arts Tournament and teach her how to fly. And this is what I believe is the true start to this arc. It was fun seeing Gohan's interactions with normal people, seeing him in high school and dealing with Videl. Like, I truly enjoyed this part. But when Gohan is forced to enter the tournament, Vegeta decides to enter as well. And surprisingly, Goku is coming back from Otherworld for one day to compete in the tournament, which may have been this arc's first mistake. With Goku entering, Krillin decides to as well, and his now wife, Android 18, will enter for the prize money. Piccolo is a natural fighter like Goku and Vegeta, so he's entering as well. And what is maybe the most shocking part of all of this is that Chi-Chi is supporting Gohan's decision, like wholeheartedly. And yeah, it's because of the prize money, but Chi-Chi allowing Gohan to skip school and train is unexpected regardless of the circumstances. Gohan's training partner is his little brother Goten, who's a spitting image of Goku, even down to the clothes. During their training, Gohan learns that Goten and Trunks are both Super Saiyans, even younger than he was when he first transformed. Which was cool when I was a little kid, kinda annoyed me as I got older, and the S-Cell explanation makes sense, but I'm still not the biggest fan of two kids being Super Saiyans that never had to go through any real danger. But Goten can't fly, so that allows Gohan to train both Goten and Videl at the same time. Speaking of Videl, it's kind of difficult to ignore all of the similarities between her and a younger Chi-Chi. Both are the strongest human women on Earth, both have abnormally strong fathers, and obviously, both were very combative with the ones they fell in love with. The day of the tournament arrives. Goku's back on Earth and everyone's happy and it's looking like it's gonna be a great day. They all sign up for the tournament and have to participate in the punch machine test to see how strong they are. Is this a good way of determining power? No, but they have to go along with it. The Z Fighters agree that they will hold back to the best of their abilities. At least most of them did. As far as the kids division goes, I don't even feel like it's necessary to go over that. It was obvious Goten and Trunks will face each other in the finals. They have a great fight. They both break the rules of becoming a Super Saiyan, but I don't think that really had an impact on the outcome. Goten before the tournament admitted that Trunks was a little stronger because he's older. As for the adults, the competitors in that division choose their matchups, and there are a couple interesting ones. There's 18 versus Hercule, Shin versus Piccolo, and Goku versus Vegeta. I know at first glance Goku and Vegeta looks like the most interesting matchup, but it's actually Shin and Piccolo. Piccolo was uneasy about facing Shin up until their fight. He and Goku can't really figure him out. There's a strange energy around him. They do know he's strong though. When they match up, Piccolo just forfeits. Because he used to be the god of Earth, Piccolo recognizes that Shin is a different order of being. Piccolo later asks Shin about his true identity, and Shin tells him that he is the Lord of Lords, or as most of us English consumers say, the Supreme Kai, the highest being in the universe. Next up is Videl. She's facing a man named Spopovich, a fighter that people recognize as he's competed in the tournament multiple times. As Videl and Spopovich fight, Videl is clearly stronger than him, but he isn't really taking damage. He and his pal Yamu have this weird M on their heads, and they have an uncomfortable amount of veins showing. I always found that to be weird when I was younger. As Videl tires herself out, Spopovich gains the upper hand, and does so ruthlessly. It's here where we see the most outward showing of Gohan's feelings towards Videl. He only gets mad if he really cares about you, and he's losing control of himself. He turns into a Super Saiyan and is getting ready to deal with the brute, but not before Yamu tells Spopovich to just end the match. Gohan makes sure Videl is okay and promises to beat Spopovich in the next round. But before he can do that, he has to go against Kibito, Shin's right-hand man. Now another one of these weird beings is asking Gohan to do something he agreed not to do, which is to become a Super Saiyan. Yamu pulls out something with a meter on it that has that weird M on it, and Piccolo tells Gohan to transform. Shin tells the Z Fighters that no matter what happens, don't interfere. Man, it's obvious that something bigger is going on. Gohan becomes not a Super Saiyan, but a Super Saiyan 2. He had already been unmasked as the Great Saiyan Man, but now he just revealed to everyone that he's also the Golden Warrior, and that's kind of funny to me. Yamu's meter is going crazy and determines that Gohan is the one that he and Spopovich were looking for. They grab Gohan, use this thing to suck his energy, and fly off. Most of the Z Fighters and Shin fly off after them as Videl and Kibito stay back to make sure Gohan is good. When Gohan is healed and getting ready to leave, Videl begs Gohan to let her come with him, but he only agrees to this if she promises to go back if the situation starts to look a little too dangerous. Videl agrees and they're off. I love how Gohan and Videl's relationship naturally develops into something romantic. Even though I don't think they're at that point yet, I think Toriyama did a fantastic job writing their story. From meeting each other on the street, to Videl being antagonistic and suspicious of Gohan, to training at Gohan's house with his brother, even how he took care of her at the tournament. Nothing ever felt rushed. It never seemed out of place. Like I said, even after the tournament, I wouldn't say they're in a romantic relationship, but they're definitely more than friends. Shin and the others are in front of Kibito, Gohan, and Videl by a good amount, so they have to speed up. But this is where Videl gets left behind. She can't fly any faster than this. I know I've said that I don't like this arc, but it's not bad all throughout. Actually, up until this point, I thought the Buu Saga was looking like it could have been the best in the series, but this was only the beginning. So many new questions needed to be answered. Where are the Z Fighters going? What do the gods have to do with it? And what's up with those weird M's that we keep seeing? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. No, that wasn't it? Okay, yeah, I ain't doing that again.